Hello, everybody. My name is Charlie Gaudet. I am the CEO of Predictable Profits, and we're here with another mini seminar in our Actionable Business Training series. And with me is my man, Zach Burks.
Hey everyone, for those just joining and those who've been here, obviously I'm Zach. I'm glad to be here because today we're addressing a very important topic. I think that many business owners, sales teams, marketing teams, just B2B professionals overlook when it comes to sales. And as a result, more so than ever, we're seeing sales teams continue to struggle to not only bring leads but convert those leads into sales. So our global environment has changed and the market will continue to change.
Which, to your point, we found the first really major shift happening back in 2010. And this is back when we advised our clients of the power shift between the customers and businesses. Because it used to be that businesses held all the cards. They told the customer about the product and the service features, about the benefits and why it was a smart choice for them. And as a result, the salesperson was sought out as a person to educate the prospect as to why you should do business with the company. And that's changed. And today, it's the customers that have all the power. And they're doing their homework before even getting on the phone with you. And, what we're seeing ultimately, number one, is that customers have more access to information than ever before. And they use these decisions or they use this information to make purchase decisions.
Yeah. And in fact, I have written down here, according to Google, B2B clients are doing 12 searches before even engaging with your website. So just think about that. B2B or B2C, doesn't matter. With access to information, consumers are pre-shopping before even making any decision. Additionally, your buyers also have access to more alternatives than ever before. More and more businesses of all sizes are forced to compete on a global landscape. And many times they're buying directly from the source rather than a middleman. So look, in the B2C world, you see it with airline travel. When's the last time you worked with a travel agent to book a flight?
Oh, right.
I mean, I just go straight to Southwest, right? Now consumers are going directly to the airline, and as such, travel agents had to adapt in order to change the value of the services they're offering.
And I mean, we've got the more access to information, alternatives, direct access, and then there's transparency, which is also a big one. I mean, between Facebook and Google reviews and bloggers and Glassdoor, et cetera, your prospects can find out anything they want about the quality of your services, how you treat your clients, how you treat your employees, and so forth. So, as marketers and as salespeople, the fifth way is that this one really stings, but your prospects have more and more control as to whether or not they want to see your ad or whether or not they want to see your email. I mean, you've got on-demand and Sirius radio, et cetera, which are ways that people are literally paying just to not see your commercials. YouTube now gives you the opportunity to pay so you don't see ads. Services like SaneBox make it even easier to filter emails out of your inbox and then into the black hole.
And yet somehow with all this, experts still tell us that if you just send out thousands of cold emails or spam the heck out of your LinkedIn connections,
yep,
that you're doing a good job, right? That's kind of just more is better. But the reality is that sales is getting much harder. Just a year ago, we were sending out 300 emails a day,
per person, yeah.
Yeah, and setting about 60 appointments a month. Just on email alone. On LinkedIn, we could there were days where I'd set like 12 appointments before lunchtime, right? And it was barely lifting a finger. And we're not alone. According to HubSpot's research team, getting a response from prospects, that's what they title, getting a response from prospects, has increasingly become more difficult compared to 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, and I think I clicked to the slide too early, but even the government stepped in with GDPR, right? GDPR was making it more difficult to just cold email your prospects. And many people, as they figured out over the last few weeks, Google has been putting the majority of cold emails, which used to hit the inbox, they've done some sort of update to their algorithm, and now these are going into spam. And that's why, I mean, folks, this presentation couldn't be more timely, because this is really Darwinism at its finest. You have to adapt or die. And as Dr. Edwards Deming says, it's not necessary to change. Survival is not mandatory. So let's sort of, this is the slide I was hoping to get to, right? Which is getting a response from prospects, which is the hardest thing.
Wow.
But let's talk about how all of this has contributed to the trends that are disrupting your sales process. And that is, number one, that there's just too many beggars. A few years ago, as a perfect example, I flew into Johannesburg, South Africa. I was on my way to a safari with my wife. In the moment I got my bag and I entered the main area of the airport, I was surrounded by people who were offering to drive me. And then they were trying to grab my bags and help me with my bags, drive me to the hotel, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, literally, it was like a flock of birds surrounding the pigeon lady at a park. I mean, these people literally everywhere, tugging on my straps, tapping me on the shoulder, getting in my face. And when I ignored them, they just stood around me and they were screaming louder. And that's exactly what's happening right now in sales. Sales right now, for the majority of marketing and sales professionals, it's still very transactional. And salespeople are still playing the numbers game. The more emails, the more phone calls, the more of everything, they believe that they're going to get better results. And I mean, they're playing trickery. They're trying to be sly and get creative, and they're using all sorts of growth hacks. Biggest thing, growth. Everything is a growth hack nowadays, right? Growth hacks all over the place. They're trying growth hacks, they're trying technology, whatever it is, to try to get in front of me. But how's that working for you? As consumers, we could see through all that BS. And I remember as a kid, my uncle told me that most people won't do the hard stuff that's required to be successful, and everybody's looking for a shortcut. And that stuck with me. And that's what we're seeing right now more than ever before in sales. So when everybody is zigging, now really is your time to step up and zag.
Yeah, I like that. And instead of, I think, being a beggar, we should look to, take the time to understand what our buyer wants. Understand their problem first. Stephen Covey, right? Seek first to understand, then to be understood, and offer to help and educate them. Use education to sell. As a report by Google said, you need to make sure you're reaching them where they are and providing them with the content they're seeking. That's important, where they are, right? Where they are right now. Rather than ABC, always be closing, which I just hate that. But just think of just trying to be the coolest cat in the room. Give value, help with their problem, and you'll not only create a fan, you'll get more buyers.
And so then the second trend that's really disrupting your sales strategy is that you can't rely on email alone. Right now, I have almost 2,500 unread emails in my inbox, and the trend's only getting worse, not just for me, but for everybody. And why? Because email is becoming less important, and technology is pulling us away from our inboxes. I mean, Slack, WhatsApp, HipChat, Facebook Messenger, Skype, et cetera. These are just a few of the technologies that are actually taking us away from our inbox. And as a result, our inboxes, they're getting more full, and we're deleting emails in massive bulk without even really reading them. So we have to start thinking beyond email, which is a very popular prospecting tool right now, and start looking at other ways to stay in front of our buyers.
I just want to comment. I love that picture of that guy. That's hilarious. But for example, if you send an email, you can retarget your list using similar content as a sponsored post on Facebook, right? So you can reach them in other ways. You can also share similar content as a post on LinkedIn. That's been, wildly successful for us, right? We're kind of building that trust and relationship through content on LinkedIn. Don't rely on just email.
Right. I mean, it's that 1 + 1 = 3 benefit, creating massive leverage. We write one email, you can use that same email, slightly modified, use it as a sponsor post on Facebook, LinkedIn. It's a bunch of different ways, but so we're not just relying on email alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then
yes. Yeah, and this is what you and I talked about a little bit yesterday. And thirdly, number 3, the magic trick has been revealed. You're kind of looking at it from a higher level, but if you compare what you're doing to kind of magicians and what they do, there's a reason why magicians keep their magic tricks secret. Because once you know how it works, the reason why it works, suddenly it's a lot less exciting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been revealed. And that's what we're seeing with sales right now. It appears everyone is taking the same courses and learning from the same gurus. So you're seeing the exact same patterns and messages every day in your inbox.
And this is actually I went to my LinkedIn today and I had to take a snapshot of this because this is what we're talking about. Just look, this is the exact same message. 2 different people, 2 different industries, 2 different companies.
So those are their headlines, right? On
they're the headline. Their messages were very similar, but it's a headline, right? It's the first thing that we see, and it's no different. I mean, when I go into my inbox, I'm going to see similar emails. I'm going to see similar calls to actions on people's websites and so forth. There's just a lot of copycats out there. So, I mean, look, if it looks like a fish and it smells like a fish, chances are it's a fish, right? Mm-hmm. So rather than copying what everybody else is doing, once again, when everybody's zagging, now's the time to zig. You got to do something different. And there's a quote that I heard that's perfect. I recommend that you write this down, and it is: different is better than better. Don't be afraid to be different.
Yeah, that whenever we talk about that, I always think of our good friend and principal of Sandler Sales Training in New Hampshire, Kevin Hallenbeck. As he once told me that, and this is very much Sandler, the best way to prove that you're different is to not like your typical salesperson. Mm-hmm. Change things up, do the things people least expect you to do. That's, sometimes it's saying, hey, look, we may not be a fit for each other. Like things that are very different kind of stand out. And another example of this is Vidyard, or Vidyard, depends on how you pronounce it. It's a free Google Chrome extension that we've been using where you can shoot a video of yourself. Maybe you're holding your prospect's book, product, whatever it is. And not everyone is using video and cold email, so this works out great. You can do like a GIF. So I'm like waving. Maybe I have your book, Charlie. Right? That's what I would do if I was reaching out to you. I'd grab your book on Amazon, couple bucks, maybe more than that. I'd wave it in the image. If you saw it, you'd be like, "Wow, that guy has my book." Yeah. It wouldn't be hollow like this slide here. I see you do impressive work. Everybody says that, right? That's
not only that, you could tell it's a robot because I intentionally put my middle initial next to my name, right? So I could pick them out.
Every time you show me that, I just think of Chuck E. Cheese. Anyway, so that's how you can be different, right? You can do like Vidyard. Now, people aren't doing this because it takes more work, but that's what we have to do to be different in today's environment. It's not a ton of work. It's just a little bit more to be successful.
Because different is better than better. And so just to sort of recap, the 3 things that are disrupting your sales strategy are: number 1, too many beggars. Everyone's out there begging for sales when in fact your prospects are looking for solutions to their problem. When they're ready to engage, and they're looking for solutions to their problem before they're ready to engage with a salesperson. If you want a better, more qualified lead, give them great value in the form of, helpful content before selling them. Number two, you can't rely on email alone. Just the last couple weeks, I spoke with 18, no joke, that's an actual figure, 18 different businesses in the last couple weeks that ended up having their domain trapped into Google's spam box. That means they're stuck in spam, and as a result, their response rate totally plummeted. The worst number in marketing is number one. Never rely on one strategy or one medium. You got to diversify into other channels. Even a cold email company that Zach and I had worked with for quite some time, we spoke to their head of sales, a cold email company. They told me that they don't rely on cold email as well. They use LinkedIn. They use cold calling as a way to maximize their own sales. So look, even a cold email company doesn't rely on just one sales method.
Right.
And then number three, the magic trick has been revealed. Different is better than better. Find ways to stand out and be different. If you look like a salesperson, you're going to be treated like a salesperson. And I'm sure you've heard this before, but everyone likes to buy and nobody likes to be sold. So when everyone is zigging, now's your time to zag. So that wraps up today's actionable seminar series. For more information and other videos in our series, feel free to head over to our website, predictableprofits.com, and click on the business training tab, and you're going to find a bunch more videos and free trainings and whatnot. We're going to continue to add more there. So I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. This is just one way to add as much value as possible, help you get more leads and convert more leads into sales. Till next time, this is Charlie Gaudette with my man,
Zach Burks.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
See you guys.